जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की प्रभुपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रहे। Hare Krishna, welcome you all this morning class on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Today we will be discussing from Canto 3, Chapter 3, verse number 14. Please keep all your mobiles in silent mode. Kiyan bhuvaha ayam kshapita uru bharaha yat drona bhishma arjuna bhima मूलय अष्टादश अक्षौहिणिकः मत अंशय आस्ते बलम दुर्विषहम यदूनां कियान् भुवोऽयं क्षपितोरुभारो यद्रोण भीष्मार्जुन भीममूलये अष्टादशक्षौहिणिको मदंशैर् आस्ते बलं दुर्विषहं यदूनाम् कियान् भुवोऽयं क्षपितोरुभारो यद्रोण भीष्मार्जुन भीममूलये अष्टादशाक्षौहिणिको मदंशैर् आस्ते बलं दुर्विषहं यदूनाम् कियान् भुवोऽयं क्षपितोरुभारो यद्रोण भीष्मार्जुन भीममूलये अष्टादशाक्षौहिणिको मदंशैर् आस्ते बलं दुर्विषहं यदूनाम्। Please recite. Mataji's? Word to word meaning, translation and purport. By His Divine Grace, I see Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. After the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, the Lord said, the abatement of the earth's great burden, 18 Akshohinis, has now been effected with the help of Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna and Bhima. But what is this? There is still the great strength of the Yadu dynasty, born of myself, which may be a more unbearable burden. Purport. It is a wrong theory that due to an increase in population, the world becomes overburdened, and therefore there are wars and other annihilating processes. The earth is never overburdened. The heaviest mountains and oceans on the face of the earth hold more living entities than there are human beings, and they are not overburdened. If a census were taken of all the living beings on the surface of the earth, certainly it would be found that the number of humans is not even 5% of the total number of living beings. If the birth rate of human beings is increasing, then the birth rate of other living beings is increasing proportionately. The birth rate of lower animals, beasts, aquatics, birds, etc. is far greater than that of human beings. There is an adequate arrangement for food for all the living beings all over the earth by the order of the Supreme Lord. And He can arrange more and more if there is actually a disproportionate increase of living beings. Therefore, there is no question of an increase in population causing a burden. The earth became overburdened due to dharma glani, or irregular discharge of the Lord's desire. The Lord appears on the earth to curb the increase in miscreants and not the increase in population, as is wrongly put forward by the mundane economist. When Lord Krishna appeared, there had been a sufficient increase in miscreants who had violated the desire of the Lord. The material creation is meant for fulfilling the desire of the Lord, and His desire is that the conditioned souls who are unfit to enter into the kingdom of God have a chance to improve their conditions for entering. The entire process of cosmic arrangement is intended just to give a chance to the conditioned souls to enter the kingdom of God. And there is an adequate arrangement for their maintenance by the nature of the Lord. Therefore, although there may be a great increase in population on the surface of the earth, if the people are exactly in line with God consciousness and are not miscreants, such a burden on the earth is a source of pleasure for her. There are two kinds of burdens. There is the burden of the beast and the burden of love. The burden of the beast is unbearable, but the burden of love is a source of pleasure. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti describes the burden of love very practically. He says that the burden of the husband on the young wife, the burden of the child on the lap of the mother, and the burden of wealth on the businessman. Although actually burdens from the viewpoint of heaviness are sources of pleasure, and in the absence of such burdensome objects, one may feel the burden of separation, which is heavier to bear than the actual burden of love. When Lord Krishna referred to the burden of the Yadu dynasty on the earth, He referred to something different than the burden of the beast. The large numbers of family members born of Lord Krishna, counted to some millions, and were certainly a great increase in the population of the earth. But because all of them were expansions of the Lord Himself by His transcendental plenary expansions, they were a source of great pleasure for the earth. When the Lord referred to them in connection with the burden on the earth, He had in mind their imminent disappearance from the earth. All the members of the family of Lord Krishna were incarnations of different demigods, and they were to disappear from the surface of the earth along with the Lord. When He referred to the unbearable heaviness on the earth in connection with the Yadu dynasty, He was referring to the burden of their separation. Srila Jiva Goswami confirms this inference. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnapadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha Namo He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So this is a chapter we are continuing how Uddhava is remembering Lord Krishna. So in this particular shloka, Uddhava is remembering how what Lord said after the battle of Kurukshetra. Lord Krishna said that by the help of different Atirathas, Maharathas, Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna, Bhima, and other great warriors, all these warriors, all the soldiers, and how many soldiers assembled there in the battle? What is the number? 18 Akshauhinis. So 18 Akshauhinis. So one Akshauhini is equal to like thousands of chariots, thousands of horses, elephants, and infantry, walking soldiers, horses. So 18 Akshauhinis, 11 on the side of Kauravas and 7 on the side of Pandavas. So this 18 number we see at many places, and it is also an auspicious number, 18. We see 18 numbers in 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. There are 18 Puranas. There are Ashtadasha, Shakti Pitas are also there. So 18 looks like something, a very significant number in the Vedic context, like 9, 18. These are something significant numbers. So anyways, here the Lord is feeling unbearable. The Lord is feeling that this could be an unbearable burden. What could be an unbearable burden? The Yadus. The 18 Akshonis has gone, but there are still the Yadus who are of great strength, who are born of myself. This could be an unbearable burden. That burden is that because in near future, Lord Krishna is going to disappear from this world. And after that, all this Yadus, all the Yadus, they will also disappear. And if you read the translation, we will not understand. That we will understand from the purport, how it is an unbearable burden. Prabhupada writes that the Mother Earth, when she sees that such people who are pious, who are good, when they leave her, then she feels that separation, and that is the burden here. The burden here is not of the weight, the burden is here is of the separation, which is heavier than the actual burden, as Prabhupada says. Prabhupada gives example of the burden taken by husband on the young wife, and the burden of the husband on the young wife, the burden of the child on the mother, and the burden of the wealth on the businessman. So these are the examples given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So this looks like a burden, but this is burden of love. And Prabhupada very nicely says that this, like for example, the burden of the child on the lap of the mother. So it is not so easy to raise the child. It is a very difficult task. Whether it is mother or father, both of them. It is a difficult task. And it is a burden of love, as Prabhupada says, because the child will give so much happiness, so much joy he gives. So that is the burden of love, because that is the source of happiness. But it is a burden. The burden of love. And Prabhupada very smartly he says in the next line, how if you don't have that burden, then you feel a great separation and great pain. Like husband and wife, they get married, and suppose if they don't have a child, it's a great mental pain for them. Because they will see the whole world, everyone has children, but they don't have children. So it is a great pain for them. Especially the wife, it is a great pain. Because people will think in so many different ways. It's a pain for them. But at the same time, having a child is also a burden. Is also a burden, but that burden is a burden of love. So sometimes we think that, okay, if I take some responsibility, if I take something, some responsibility, then it is a burden. It is a burden. But we should see that it is not. It won't be just burden, but it is a source of happiness. Not only just source of happiness, but it is a source of liberation, especially when that burden is connected to Lord Krishna. Therefore, the human form of life is meant for sacrifice. Burden means sacrifice. It's like the child and the mother. Mother is completely sacrificing for the sake of the child, right? Her time, her energy, her whatever, her talent, everything, she is engaging in the service of the child. So burden means sacrifice. So you have to give your time, which is the most valuable thing. It is costlier than money. Time is costlier than money also, because you cannot purchase time with money, as Chanakya says. Even You pay so many gold coins, you cannot purchase a moment. Don't shake legs. You cannot purchase even a moment, even if you give hundreds and thousands of gold coins. So it is a sacrifice. So especially when that burden, which is in the service of the Lord, that we have to accept. As Prabhupada says, we should not work so hard just to maintain ourselves. We should work that much only which keeps our body and soul together. And rest of the time we should engage our energy in a time and energy in service of the Lord. Right? So that doesn't mean that, that means that if we have to accept more and more responsibilities for the service of the Lord. For example, getting up early in the morning. It's a kind of load that you have to take, especially in the winter time, to get up early, come sit 2 hours for chanting. Yeah. So the mind, there is a burden of the mind in that. The mind becomes the burden because you have to control the mind there. You have to be patient. So when we take that burden in the service of the Lord, then we become purified. That becomes a path to liberation. People are taking burden, so many risks they are taking, like business, stock exchange, they put thousands of crores. It's a risk. Business, thousands of crores of investment, it's a risk. So they take risk, they take burden for what? To get money, so that more sense gratification. So the burden is there, even the materialistic person takes burden, but that burden doesn't make him to get liberated. It makes him more into bondage. And one should never feel fearful in taking burden, especially for Krishna. Because over that time we realize that this will actually purify us. Not only purify, but hundreds of people and thousands of people will get opportunity to take up Krishna consciousness. So we should have that kind of broad mentality. Just imagine Prabhupada, if he would have not taken the burden of going to America, traveling in a cargo ship, living in some kind of shed and living with hippies. This is a burden. But all that burden he is taken, that is the burden of love for Krishna. There is a burden of love for Krishna. And now we are enjoying ISKCON all over the world. We are enjoying the devotional service. We are enjoying Krishna consciousness, temples, Krishna Bhakti. This is all because Prabhupada had taken that burden of love for Krishna. So now as Krishna actually, he has arranged this Mahabharata war for the killing of the demoniac people on this planet. And for this he has taken a burden. Krishna also has taken a burden. What to speak of that? Krishna in the form of Ananta Shesha, he is taking the burden of this entire universe. All this entire universe is just lying on the hood of Ananta Shesha. Now, he has to go through so many insults by Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni, Karna. But he has taken that burden. Why? Because he loves Pandavas. That is the burden of love. He has taken this burden because he has that love for his devotees. To protect them, he has taken this burden. And Shankaracharya, he describes how beautifully he describes how this Mahabharata, how it is compared to different people, how they are compared to sharks and a flowing current. Shankaracharya says in Gita Dhyanam, he says that Bhishmatrona-tata jayadhrata jala Gandhara nilotpala Shalyagrahavati kripena vahini Karnena velakula Ashwathama vikarna ghora makara Duryodhana vartini Sottirna khalu pandava nadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha. He says, Bhishma, Drona, they were like the two banks. Just like the river has two banks, Bhishma is on one side, Drona is on one side. Because they are the most powerful in the Kaurava army. And Jayadratha was the water. Who is Jayadratha? Jayadratha is... Who is Jayadratha? Duryodhana's brother-in-law. That means Dushyala's husband, Jayadratha. So Jayadratha was like water. And Shakuni, who is the king of Gandhara, he is like the lotus, blue lotus. Shalya, he was the crocodile in this water. And Kripacharya, he is the tide. And Karna, he is the mighty wave. Ashwathama and Vikarna were the dangerous alligators. Alligators means like the sharks kind of thing. Ashwathama and Vikarna. And Duryodhana is the whirlpool who will swallow everything. And the Pandavas had crossed this river of war with Krishna as their Kaivartaka Keshavaha, as the boatman. So it is Krishna only who had taken these Pandavas in the lotus feet of, in the boat of his lotus feet. He has crossed this river. Sometimes to cross the river is so difficult, especially when the current is so much. Recently we went to Haridwar. Devotees were swimming, and one devotee just swayed away, and other two devotees went and rescued him. Otherwise he would have gone somewhere. That much current only we are not able to sustain. So this is such a great current. All great Athirathas, Maharathas, all these people are there. Still, Krishna had sailed this boat in which these Pandavas, he had made them to cross this great dangerous river. And that is the burden of love taken by Krishna. Prabhupada says that how people, it's a wrong theory that due to increase in population, the world becomes overburdened, and therefore there are wars and other annihilating processes. And the earth is never overburdened. Actually, the earth, it is said, earth is, there is one, when it comes to Niti Subhashitalu, there is one saying, earth can sustain the weight of great mountains, earth can sustain the weight of big forest, earth can sustain the weight of the long rivers, but earth cannot, the mother earth cannot sustain the weight of a liar who speaks a lie. It is said like that. So she can, as it is said, there are 7 mothers. One of that is Mother Earth, she is the mother. So anything that happens to any other mother of the 6 mothers, or anything that happens to the earth, Mother Earth, she cannot tolerate that. She cannot tolerate that pain. Therefore, there are wars, there are floods, there are droughts, and there are mass killings. This happens because the Mother Earth cannot tolerate the pain. So many cows are being killed. Mother Earth cannot tolerate that pain. So she gets disturbed, she shakes, and that's how our Acharya says that when the cows are so much killed, that leads to earthquakes and tsunamis. And people exploit the earth for the sake of one's own selfishness, sense gratification. There was one great scholar, Martin Luther. He says that we have guided missiles but misguided men. Why? This is not told recently. This was told 60 years back, 70 years back. He made this statement because that was the time when technology was improving and technology was growing a lot at that time. And he had seen that the countries, the leaders in whose hands this technology is there, they are misusing this for their own selfish interest at the cost of peace, at the cost of love, at the cost of tolerance, at the cost of brotherhoodness, at the cost of fraternity. All this were compromised just for technology and the misuse of technology for one's own selfish interest. And that's where it leads to wars. That led to wars. And we see many instances in the Bhagavatam that Mother Earth, she cannot tolerate the pain of these miscreants, and she goes to the Lord. In the 10th canto, it comes, the Mother Earth had gone to the demigods, to Brahma, and then Brahma takes to Mother Earth in the form of cow, and then they go to Milk Ocean to speak with the Lord. And what she says, she says that this whole world, whole earth is overburdened with the miscreants, with the demoniac people who are exploiting, who are doing so many sinful activities. She is feeling that burden. She is not having any burden of this, as I said, great mountains or all this, but she is having the burden of the pain that how these people are committing sinful activities. Other instance, in the pastime of Prithu Maharaj, Mother Earth stopped giving food only. Imagine, if the Kirana shop is closed, where you will get rice? Sabji mandi is closed, where you will get sabji? For us, we don't know anything about fields where the rice is grown, where the wheat is grown, where the sabji is grown. Imagine, farmers are not producing food. What will happen? What will happen to us? So at that time, earth was not producing grains, earth was not producing any fruits, vegetables, no milk, no grass. No grass means cows will not have food, that means no milk. Why? Because of demoniac people. They destroyed the earth. Prithu Maharaj becomes so angry and he comes ahead to kill Mother Earth because she is not producing food. Mother Earth says, what can I do? All these demoniac kings, they destroyed me. They exploited. All the seeds are deteriorated. There is nothing that I can produce. So in that way, that when the sin increases, then the problems, then the nature hits back. Nature hits back. When the sin increases, nature hits back. So therefore, therefore we should live according to the instructions of the Lord, instructions of the Acharyas, not to exploit this nature. Anything which is modern, it is exploiting the nature. Anything which is modern. The whole plastic, no, the whole world is using plastic. What is plastic? It is exploiting the nature. Just for a plastic cover to get decomposed, it will take 200 years. It will take 200 years. And that is a cancer-causing agent. Nowadays, cancer is increasing. Why? Because we are so much exposed to plastic. We are exposed to plastic, radiation. We are eating in plastic bottles, plastic boxes. We are taking water from plastic bottles. Because all this plastic, they have nanoparticles. We are using plastic brushes. How many of you don't use plastic brush? Raise your hand. You don't use plastic. Wooden, very good. So every day you are putting plastic brush in the mouth. What is happening? After 3 months you see, when you purchased it is new. After 3 months you see it is half gone. Where it gone? It went to your, it went to your stomach only, no? Have you ever thought where that plastic has gone? It went to your mouth only inside. So you're eating plastic. So what will happen? Daily some nanoparticles are going inside. So you see how we are just fooled by the modern science. Just fooled by the modern science. And no one is speaking this reality, no one is speaking this truth. Initially it was, before plastic brush, what was there? Neem was there, at least, fingers. Neem stick was there, finger was there. I mean, there are hundreds of things that we can speak. So anything that is modern is actually exploiting the earth. Now food we are eating, so much of fertilizers and so much of pesticides. And one day we see some health problems, some this, some that. So we have to go back to the roots. We have to go back to the roots. And Prabhupada had given that vision. Srila Prabhupada, he had given us that vision. Of course, as a devotee coming to ISKCON, practicing Krishna consciousness, we have greatly reduced, many things we have reduced. Like we don't apply cosmetics. Like Matajis in our community, they don't apply lipstick or any kind of cosmetics. Prabhujis, we don't apply any kind of scent, deo sprays, shampoos. There's no need of shampoo only. You shave the hair. There's no need of shampoo. So many things are greatly reduced. It's a practical life. It's a Hare Krishna, Mataji. So it's a many things are greatly reduced. So we are becoming near to the nature which is Krishna's nature. Clothes, simple clothes, not kind of any fashionable clothes made out of killing so many animals or made with so many chemicals. So there could be hundreds of things we can speak, how we can become, because the more we become near to nature, the more goodness we develop, and the more goodness we develop, the more spiritual we will be. The Kali Yuga, in Satya Yuga, people were full of goodness. People were like swan. People were like swan. Swan means Hansa. Rajahamsa, royal swan. Anyone has seen swan? Not duck, swan. Swan. Where you have seen? I don't think anyone has seen swan. Swans are very, very rare. I don't know whether in India it is there or not. You find somewhere in some Caspian Sea or somewhere, Manasa Sarovar you find. You don't see swans. They are very beautiful. They are so beautiful, pure white they look. swans, you don't see swans. You see ducks, you don't see swans. So, Satya Yuga, people were like swans, so pure, mode of goodness. And then Treta Yuga, people were mode of passion. And Dwapar Yuga, mix of passion and ignorance. And Kali Yuga, pure ignorance. Pure ignorance, pure duplicate. People in Kali Yuga are purely duplicate. So, then what to do in Kali Yuga? There is so much of cheating, there is so much of quarrel, there is so much of hypocrisy, there are so many fights, there are so many wars. So in the Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, he says all these things. He says the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Even Mother Earth laughs at the people of Kali Yuga, how foolish they are. You read 12th canto, the symptoms of Kali Yuga comes. So even in the midst of all these kind of perplexities, anxieties, Sukadeva Goswami says to Pariksit Maharaj that this Kali Yuga is full of faults, ocean of faults. Ocean of faults. But still there is one good quality. And what is that good quality? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from this material bondage and can go back to the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha. Just by chanting. The result that you are getting in Satya Yuga by meditating on the Lord, the result you are getting in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, the result you are getting in Dwapar Yuga by worshipping the Lord, that same result you will get by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra wherever you are. That is the only beauty of Kali Yuga. And to teach this, the Lord has to take some burden. The Lord has to take some burden. And He came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And He has taken the burden. He has traveled all over the world, all over the country. He met so many people, made them, spoken to them, preached to them, made them Krishna conscious. At the age of 24 years, he was married at the age of 24 years, having young wife and old mother. He left, took sannyas, and that is a burden. Imagine a young man just got married and you tell him to take sannyas for the welfare of the world. How many people will be ready? But Lord has taken that burden. That is the burden of love. He has taken that burden. He took sannyas and traveled around the world and gave Krishna consciousness. So we see in the life of these great acharyas and the great personalities, they take this burden of love so that Krishna consciousness is spread and people are benefited with the real knowledge, with the right process, and their path to liberation, to the kingdom of God is open. I'll stop here. Any questions? Yeah. You can take this mic. On karo. I didn't get. Can you take this mic?
Hello. Hello. Prabhuji. Thus, industry culture is actually Prabhupada also agrees this one because industry is not required this, like because God do a lot of things as. And industry, when any started industry, it is the part of deteriorating the nature day by day. Today, everywhere industry is there. Some industry directly deteriorate the nature, some indirectly in the cost of pollution or other, like you example, you industry, plastic industry, these all things. And one who the starting industry is the main part of the deterioration, and other who is doing that industry employees are there. They are also daily doing work. They are also part of this deterioration because they are helping to that deteriorating in the fame of job or this one. But we have also not option survival, job is also required. So if we are doing one side bhakti chanting and again doing these two things, how to this one? Because we are also part of that one, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji's question is that now you said that all these industries are there. They are those who started. They are exploiting this world and all, but we are also part of it, and we are doing bhakti, and we are doing some kind of job in that also. So how is it that we have to do this, and here we are also supporting the exploitation of the earth? So this is wrong. So so that is his question. What to do now? Simple. You leave the job. When you know it is wrong, you have to leave the job. That is the ultimate. Survival. You see here what Prabhupada is writing here. He is writing, there are animals more than the human population and everyone is fed. Sometimes you see this Discovery Channel history channel. They show some videos from different parts of the world. In that they see thousands of birds are flying. Lakhs of ants are moving. Thousands of elephants are moving. Who is giving food to all of them? Prabhupada says that there are thousands of elephants in Africa. Each elephant eats tons of grass. Who is feeding them? Who is feeding them? Krishna is maintaining them. Krishna is maintaining them. Nityo nityanam chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. You see on the mountains there are trees. Hare Krishna. Security thoda dekho. Kaun hai? There are so many trees on the mountains. Who is giving water to all the trees? Who is giving water to all the trees? Is GHMC giving water? But they are growing. So, every living entity, it finds its own food, and according to one's karma, the respect or the disrespect, the pain or the pleasure, these things, the comfort or the discomfort, these things are fixed. So one need not worry. One need not worry about one's maintenance. And that's what Prabhupada taught us, that one should not be worried about. Have you ever worried, if I take birth, what will happen to my food? No, the Lord had arranged the mother's milk. Have you ever worried, what if I sleep? If I sleep, what if my heart stops? Have you ever worried, when I sleep, how will I breathe? When you realize you are breathing continuously, but suddenly you realize you are breathing. Who is doing that breathing? You are not doing. God had made a system which it functions automatically. So, when we realize that this is something wrong, and we should not continue there. This is the ultimate. What can be said? There is no compromise in this. Sooner or later, you have to change. You have to adopt a right process. The system of economy was based on, the Vedic system is based on cows, agriculture. There is so much in that. There is bhagyam, there is fortune in that, there is opulence in that. But we have left. We have left that now. Now we are into, as Prabhupada says, nuts and bolts and machinery. So we are into this. But you can see that even without that, we can live. Even without that, we can live. Why we cannot live? Because of our mind. Our mind says, oh, this what happens, oh, that what happens. And others will say, oh, what will happen to you? So if we have good guide, guru in our life, then those things are so small. You can cross over that. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, God, why He will not consider? He will certainly consider. But the way, how much we reciprocate with God, God reciprocates in that same way. You give full, God will reciprocate full. So, it's a very big thing what you are speaking. That is actually Varnashrama Dharma. Because not everyone can be completely 24/7 in Krishna consciousness. So therefore there is Varnashrama Dharma. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So there is a Varnashrama Dharma where people do activities according to their nature, according to the guna and karma. They do that. So if you tell a person, sit 24 hours and chant and read and hear, he will not do. He needs some engagement, some work. So what kind of work? According to his guna, according to his skill. So he has to be given. And then that should be free from sin, whatever work you do. Even if some kind of sin is included. No, but when you offer to Krishna, then Krishna will remove that. Like when you do agriculture, it's a karma you are doing. But in that you have to kill so many small insects, some worms you have to kill. So you are doing sin. So the result, the grains, you are not eating directly, you are offering to God. So He will remove that sin. So in that way, when you keep center as Krishna, then He will forgive us. He will remove that sin. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? We'll stop here. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Tai Gaur Premanandaya.
Hare Krishna everyone. So on 30th, the temple will be celebrating Vaikuntha Ekadashi. So I request all of you to speak to your relatives, friends and in your community to visit the temple. You can do many sevas like Annadan. Will be having Annadan here, so you can do these services, such a wonderful services. You will get the blessings from the Lord. And Sankranti is coming on January 14th, right? So January 14th also there will be Annadan for everyone, full day. So I request for that festival also, you can come up with some services, giving some donation for the Annadan. And this Bhakti, this Bhagavad Gita distribution is going on. Marathon is still going on. We are distributing books to the different villages and cities in Telangana. So I request all of you to sponsor, become Dharma Rakshaka by sponsoring some Bhagavad Gita 5, 10, 20 books, and we will distribute them to the government schools. Those who are unprivileged, they cannot buy, we will be giving them for free. And we have a Tuladan here. So small children's parents are, please take up this service, using this Tula Bharadana. So you can have your children sitting on one side and then Bhagavad Gita on the other side. And then the number of books, that will be calculated, that much money you will donate to the temple, and then those books will be given to those government schools, the children who cannot buy, their parents cannot buy Bhagavad Gita for them. So I request all of you to join the wonderful services we have. Hare Krishna.
Vandeham